Oh, Kagiso, no, I don't like reading. Reading is not for me. I'm not a bookworm. I never find time to read. I can't even focus when I read. I never finish the books that I start reading. If that is you, this is the last day you're gonna say such words about yourself because this video is specially made for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe, click like, click on the notification bell so that you get notified each and every time I post my awesome videos. If you're also new here, please check out my previous videos, my introductory video and my first book review on The Alchemist. I will make sure to put the links down below. So today, as you can see by the title, I will be giving tips on how to read better, how to finish a book, how to enjoy reading, and how to retain as much knowledge as possible from the books that you read. So reading for me has been a very fulfilling thing. It's been a huge investment in my life. Oprah Winfrey calls reading her personal path to freedom. A fun, weird fact, Phil Knight, who is a CEO of Nike, says he keeps his library very sacred, such that each and every person who wants to enter it has to take off his shoes. Yes, has to take off his shoes. This actually shows you how sacred and how important reading is. And remember that quote that I said before, a room without a book is like a body without a soul. How many books do you have in your room? Yeah, so in today's video I will be giving tips on how to read, how to finish a book, and how to enjoy reading. And let's get straight into it. Tip number one, you need to know why you're reading the book. Are you reading it as entertainment, as an escape, or you want to learn something from the book? Do you want new ideas on how to improve your life? Having clarity as to why you're reading the book will help you and set your mind straight to finish the book only after getting what you wanted. This is you planning and intentionally making sure that, I want to get this from the book, and you only put it down after grasping the entire knowledge and concepts from the book. So you're definitely going to finish the book when you know why you're reading the book. Tip number two is read the things that excite you. Read the things that you're curious and passionate about. Don't just read a book because someone told you to, and never ever force a book on yourself. Read the things that excite you, that you enjoy. Those are the books that you're definitely going to finish. You need to put your energy in the things that you're passionate about, because I strongly believe that the things you're passionate about are not random. Those are your calling. And if you have a book on something that you're crazy and obsessed about, you're definitely going to finish it. Reading what you don't enjoy makes it a drag. It becomes a job, and pages become longer, letters become smaller, and you end up not enjoying. So the trick is to read what you enjoy. Tip number three, be very intentional about what you feed your mind. So here's something that I always do and always have been doing. Before reading, I find out who the author is. I go on YouTube, I watch interviews by the author. I watch his TED Talks if there's any. I listen to podcasts. I follow their Twitter accounts and see what they tweet. And the idea is to understand what the author is preaching about. What is their big idea? Where are they coming from and where are they headed? Is what they're preaching aligned to who you are and what you aspire to be? Like, be very intentional about what you're reading and who you're reading. What ideas, what lifestyles, what concepts are you feeding your mind? So when you when you know who the author is, you connect more with the book because you understand his idea. So you connect more with the book. You already have an idea of what you're getting yourself into and what you are trying to achieve at the end, what lessons you might achieve at the end. And this way you start appreciating the book even more. Like with me, before reading The Alchemist, I was watching an interview that Paulo Coelho had with Oprah Winfrey, which was very mind-blowing. That was the first time I was hearing something on the universe and law of attraction and one's purpose. That purpose is connected with one's pure, genuine happiness. And now reading The Alchemist, I read it with more appreciation and with more understanding who Paulo Coelho is, where he is from, and how I could actually see his journey in the book. So that made me enjoy the book even more, and it even motivated me to read more books written by him. And this is a tip that I would really like you to practice. So be very intentional about each and every book that you read, who you read. So tip number 4 is don't read to finish. Read to appreciate what's in front of you, page by page, chapter by chapter. For example, they say bad reading is when you rush through a book. Good reading is when you go slow through a book, but wise reading is understanding the book. So basically, read to understand what's in front of you. Tip number 5, what you can do is set a target for yourself. Have a plan. For example, let's say you want to read a book per week. What you can do is grab the book, check the number of pages in the book, divide that by 7, and you get the number of pages that you need to cover within a day. Now, this is a very hard practice to do when you're starting it off. However, with time, it creates a very good discipline. It becomes your daily routine to, always read a book, and with time, you start enjoying the book because you notice that, oh, actually I can cover more than what I've set for the day, and reading becomes a norm in your life. It creates a very good habit to always do some reading per day. So another tip is on how to maximize what you learn from the book. So one thing that I've learned before, I forgot from where, they were saying if you want to properly internalize something to your mind, you need to read it like you're going to have to teach the next person. So having that intention at the back of your mind makes you take reading even more seriously, and everything that you read, you're going to properly focus and grasp what's being said, and with all that intention, you are internalizing it in your mind and you will remember it even more. So another tip that I like doing, you're gonna need a book, you're gonna need a journal, you're going to need a pen and a highlighter. So what I do is when I read a book, look for the golden nuggets in the book. This is the important bits of pieces in the book, the golden nuggets of knowledge in a book. And what you do is you highlight those golden nuggets, and you highlighting, it becomes easy for you to, like, when you go back to the book, you can just flip through, see what you've highlighted to, like, remind yourself about what you liked or enjoyed, what you picked up from the book. But another option, you can go a step further. You can highlight the book, and you can also write down the golden nuggets in your journal. Now this is a step further. However, the concept of writing makes you internalize the information in your mind. I know this might be a bit drastic for some people. However, it really works. If you want to be an expert on something, you need to go a step further. For example, let's say you want to be an expert in marketing or business or entrepreneurship. What you will do is grab 5 different books on business, marketing, entrepreneurship, and do this practice. You highlight, write down the golden nuggets in your journal, and by the end of finishing all these books, you look at your journal and you have decades of wisdom and knowledge and practices and lessons on business summarized in a journal. Like you've summarized 5 books in a journal. So this is easy for me because I've always enjoyed journaling. I've always been a person who loves journals. I have a journal for everything, for my business ideas, for lifestyle, for my affirmations, for my dreams, for my goals for the year, for my goals for the month. When you write things down, you are more likely to achieve them. And this has been proven by a lot of people. What they say, once it's written, it's 40% done. So this shows you how writing is important. Besides writing things that you get from the book, you need to put down your thoughts. It's therapeutic, and with me, it helps me plan out my month properly, plan out my year or a day. Things like having a to-do list and knowing what you want to achieve. It's easy, and there's so much power in seeing your dreams written down. And as you grow, you can always go back to that list, scrap out or add more things that you want to achieve. And these journals, I got them all at Exclusive Books at different years. However, they still have a wide variety on journals and daily planners. Please do check out the store. Okay, the next tip is on audiobooks. So I personally prefer reading the hard copy book because I connect more with the book. It becomes very personal. It becomes like a personal journal because I highlight and mark important things that I really resonate with, or tips that my golden nuggets basically. So if you're a very busy person and good at multitasking, then audiobooks should work perfectly for you. It's easy and you finish a book faster because all you need to do is listen. You can listen to an audiobook driving on your way to work. You can listen to an audiobook while going for a jog or just relaxing at home. You can put on your headsets, relax, and just listen to a book. 2 apps that I have used before is Audible and audiobooks. However, you need to subscribe. There's a subscription fee per month that you need to pay for this. You can check those out. I think there's a free trial also, so you can check Audible and audiobooks for your audiobooks. Another tip is don't overachieve. Always, if you want to set targets that are achievable to you. Or don't say you're gonna read a book per week when your past is telling that no, that you're not gonna do it. You know very well that you've never done it. So if you're a busy person, like assess your routine, assess your schedule, see how much is doable for you. Is a book per week doable for you, or you just want to take an entire month or 2 months to read a book? So set targets that are comfortable and doable for you, so that you don't put too much pressure, because you're going to end up rushing through a book and not appreciating it, or it's going to become a bore or a job because you're a busy person and you never find time to read, and the set targets are becoming strenuous in your life. So do targets that blend well with your schedule and your routines. So another tip is to bunch your habits. So habit bunching is where you take an already existing habit that you enjoy and pairing it with a habit that you want to work at. So if you like enjoying coffee in the morning, you can pair that with reading a book. If you enjoy gymming, you can pair that with listening to an audiobook while you're on the treadmill. So the trick is to do something that you really enjoy and add reading into that. So this works for people who are multitaskers, and it works for people who might think that they're not readers or they don't have time to read. So this is a little trick or small practice that you can start doing. The tip is to change your mindset. So if you identify yourself as someone who hates reading, you are creating a mental resistance towards something that you want to do more of. So be open-minded to reading. Reading is very essential to one's life. We all have to read. Reading is like an investment. So think about it this way. We have books written by exceptional, extraordinary people, millionaires, people who've done amazing things in the world, people who we aspire to be. And that person has taken that knowledge of decades of knowledge and put it down in that book. You have the privilege to download all of that knowledge from decades, and you can read that within a week, internalize it and practice it. So take advantage of the books available to you. Okay, so just to show you that all these tips, these are tips that I personally practice. There's a book written by David Mahang. Mahang is one of the people that I really aspire and look up to. He is a Motswana. He is an attorney like me. He is a political icon. He's a former minister of mines, I think, and he is an owner of one of the biggest real estate properties in Botswana. He is the owner of Pakalani Golf Estate, and I really believe in property. I believe that property is a great investment. You can't go wrong with property. And he has managed to create generational wealth for himself and his kids through this property. So summing all of that, I got a book written by him just to understand and to learn how he thinks, how he got there, what he views about the economy of the country back then and where it's headed, to see who he associated himself with, basically just to learn how he got there, and how to learn his thinking. How does he think? How does a man who has achieved so much think and write? And that curiosity. Okay, firstly, clarity. This is why I wanted to read the book, to learn more about the author. And I've already done research on this author. Secondly, I'm reading things that I'm passionate about. Thirdly, I take time going through this book because it's more finance and economics. I'm not good in that department. I've never done those, so I take time to appreciate the new concepts that he talks about. That's me being wise about reading, taking time. And also I highlight and I write down the golden nuggets from the book. And yeah, I've changed my mindset. I know that I never liked economics, maths, diagrams, finance, formulas, politics, but I'm being open-minded. This is me changing my mindset to say, look, if Mahang got there, then I need to learn about this. I need to understand and appreciate this. So all in all, these are the tips that I practice in my life. I research on the author. I know why I'm reading a book. I read things that I'm absolutely passionate about. Things that improve my life. That's my goal, to always keep improving my life. And I take my time when reading so that I properly appreciate a book. And lastly, what I want to tell people is that don't read books to show off, but read books to take off. We are meant to achieve great things because we have people who have already achieved them. So if he can do it, I can do it. So this is it from me today. I hope you enjoyed my tips. So let's comment and share each other's tips. What do you do when you read? How do you make sure that you finish the book? How do you meet your reading targets? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe, share, and like.